Welcome to a new season of the Bridge to Kindness podcast and our premiere episode of Season 2. I'm Ron Smith. The purpose behind this podcast is to raise awareness of the nonprofits and the amazing work that they do here in the Columbus region. This podcast is made possible through the generosity of Signature Carpet Care, Expressions Floral Design, and Lindsay Honda. This week's podcast contains interviews with EPS and the YWCA. This episode features a unique look on how nonprofits and businesses can make an impact specifically in their community through business partnerships, bringing people together to help one another through community engagement. Think about your community as you listen to today's guests. There are silent and real needs in every community, and when we help those needs, we never realize at the time the true impact it has in some cases tomorrow, next week, next month, or in the years to come. We also want to be an encouragement to you to get involved, make a difference, and identify your gifts and talents. Find out where you can use those to bless others and help those in our community with their present needs. I've been involved in the nonprofit community for nearly 20 years, and I currently serve as an area director for a local nonprofit organization called Neighborhood Bridges. So I'm also a part of this important part of our community and how nonprofits make an impact to help those in need. On our website, thebridgetokindness.com, you'll find out more about our mission and have access to links to the organization's websites we spotlight, as well as an archive of the interviews we have here on the podcast. We would love to hear from you, whether you're a volunteer or you lead a nonprofit organization. You can reach us through the website or email us at thebridgetokindness@gmail.com. So let's get started with today's guests. Please welcome Rocky Rodriguez, president of EPS, located in Canal, Winchester, Ohio, a company that is dedicated to support the nonprofits in the Columbus region as part of its business culture. Rocky, can you share with us the history of EPS?
EPS is our DBA. Our actual name is Innovative Hardware, Inc. Was started over 40 years ago by Chuck and Mary Wild. And then Mike and I purchased the company from Chuck and Mary Wild a little bit over 16 months ago. And at the time when we purchased the company, we were both employees of the company. Mike had been an employee for over 15 years, and I had been an employee for almost 2 years. So it was a good opportunity for us to work with Chuck and Mary to kind of build on the foundation that they built of their family-owned business. And so now Mike and I's families together, we own the company and run the company. And EPS is a security systems integration company. So we do a lot of stuff with audio, visual, security access control, cameras, speaker systems, anything to do with the safety and security of a building, basically, or, technologies in your building, Wi-Fi, stuff like that. So we do a lot of that. We can design the systems ground up. We can come in and fix your systems if they're broken. But that's what the company's been doing. And for the longest time, Chuck and Mary, Chuck was an engineer by degree, and Mary was a paralegal, actually. But together, they kind of built the company off a foundation of, quality. And they really tried to make sure that they answered their clients' needs and that they did what their clients needed. In their nice little quiet corner of, the southeast area of Columbus and the Canal, Winchester area. And they really did a good job of building relationships with their clients. But when me and Mike came on board, we wanted to kind of build new relationships and look at new opportunities and new things that we could do a little bit more, in the community. We developed a new vision statement for the company, and that new vision statement kind of added in that we wanted to be a positive impact on the environment and the community that we served. And we wanted to kind of make sure that not only we were providing safety and security, but we were, a business in our community that people wanted to do business with, because, we're good guys, and Chuck and Mary were great people too, and built a great foundation. And we just want to kind of build off of that. And, I'm a military guy. I believe in service. And so, we thought it'd be a good idea to start it through nonprofit and service and partnerships with nonprofits.
As a company, you feel it's important that you engage in the community through working with nonprofits.
The nonprofits, they're at the ground level. They really are engaging the community in every way, right? With children, with housing, with churches. I mean, they affect their community in every way. From humane society type stuff. Veterans. I mean, everything. Food pantries. There's so many ways that they affect their community. And so, if you want to, in my opinion, if you want to get to know your community, you should reach out to them because they know where the people are. They know where the people need you. They know where the heartbeat of your community is. And so, in my previous job as a president of a larger security company, we tried to really do that. We tried to be part of the community and make sure that our employees were part of the community. And I felt like it was a really good foundation for not just growing our business from the business perspective, but also just from like the personal capital, I guess you would say, side of the business, right? Like building relationships that not always came down to a dollar and cents transaction, but they came down to things that really made people in the company feel like they were, part of their community and helping their community and felt like they were doing something significant, right, for the people in their community.
Can you tell us how you've made an impact through your volunteerism?
Yeah, it's funny because so in my previous I'm a 14-year Army veteran. I did 2 tours in Iraq and 1 tour in Afghanistan. And when I came back home and I took the position as a president in my last security company, I met a nonprofit, and they were helping veterans with PTSD. And so, it was out in California where I was living at the time, and they're building like a location where they could take veterans who were suffering from extreme PTSD out, on kind of like I don't want to say camping trip, but like a mental health weekend out in the woods, right? And so long story short was I met the people, and they had asked me, and my brother's also a veteran, if we would help them and be part of it. So we helped them with funding, and we helped them get some stuff going when they were at the, bottom level. So earlier, at the beginning level, I should say. So earlier this year, again, I asked Caitlin, my marketing coordinator, who runs a lot of this coordination for us, to find me a veteran nonprofit here in Ohio that we could, help out, right? And I thought, well, the winter's coming. It's November, it's October, November. What if we did a jacket drive for veterans? So she reached around. She found a group that was doing. That was running a nonprofit that was helping warriors with PTSD. And so we went out and took a tour. We collected almost 40 jackets. We went out and took it out to them. And we did a tour, me and my leadership team here. And it turns out that they were basically the second generation of the nonprofit that I had met years ago in California. And the people who started it were like, oh, I know them, they know me. It was like a full circle of life kind of thing. And to see them now having that property, having everything that they're doing out there in Southern Ohio area, it was extremely impactful for me because, PTSD is a serious subject for me. And it's a subject that I, have a lot of friends that deal with it, family members that were in the service with me. Stuff like that. So it was important. And they told me how, like, a lot of times people come in there and, they're coming from unfortunate situations, and how the jackets are really helping them because when they're there, they're not always coming from Ohio. They come from all over the country. And so sometimes they don't have cold weather gear. And so they can let them use jackets, while they're there, and let them kind of, become more comfortable. Right. And so it really helped them out. Save a Warrior is what they're called. And they're just a really good program to really help guys and gals that are really suffering. So,
and this work has impacted your staff and your work environment.
Well, I think like in my last company and even here, I have veterans who work for me. So I try to, in a lot of ways, like when you talk about morale for your company, you talk about how you can help the people in your company feel like they're making a difference, feel like, they're part of something bigger than themselves. And, we made a point to explain to people why I chose a veteran nonprofit for that event. And, it inspired a lot of people within our company to come and tell Caitlin, like, well, I care about animals. Can we do something with the Humane Society? Sure. One of our ladies, she's married. She has a couple stepchildren. She's like, I care about, like, foster children, children in need and stuff like that. So we worked with the Star House. There's just been a couple of different things like that. Children's Hospital did a volunteer with the Ohio Food Collective, and like to see the impact that we had there, and all the people that were there. That was cool. And we had a lot of employees show up and really want to be part of it, and it was a good impact for them. And it motivated them, gave them a good feeling because they were helping people like themselves, back in the day, kind of thing.
How would you encourage other companies to also step up and be involved in the community?
I think, like, if you really want to do something, you make it a priority. I think that it's never a bad thing to help your community. So, I think there's like some easier ways to do it than what people think. I think that, if you start small, it makes it a little bit easier, right? Don't go out and say you have 100 employees and say, hey, I want 100 people to volunteer, right? Like, just, does anybody want to volunteer? And if you get 10, next time say, we're trying to get 15 now. Does anybody else want to try? Or have the other employees get involved with it to show the employees why it was fun and was worth it. We really have put it into our business plan. Like I said, it's part of our vision statement. It's part of our core values, helping our community. And so it's one of those things where, and Caitlin, as our marketing coordinator, it's a primary place where we ask her to look and function and to help us. And it has nothing to do with, like I said, transactions or anything. It's just more of the feeling that it gives you, and the opportunity that it gives you to meet more people and help your community. Like I said, I mean, we've seen it work here. I mean, I really do feel like we did a command climate survey, a company survey of morale and stuff. And one of the things that came up was people said that they really appreciated that we did that stuff, that we were reaching out to their community, that we were helping things that they liked. We allowed them to bring us topics, right? Like, hey, or not topics, but nonprofits that they knew of or groups they wanted to help, and we try a lot of things. We did one for Children's Hospital, right? We made them cards, and we're doing one next month for a retirement community, making them Valentine's Day cards, right? Like, just little things. They don't have to be big things, and it just takes a little bit of time. And if from the leadership you push it down to the employees and they feel it, like me and Mike are very participative in it. We try to make sure that they see us there and that we're doing all the things too. I bring my children are involved in it. My spouse, my wife, they're all involved in it. And so I think, like, it's a good thing. And
share with us what you've planned for this year's projects.
We're going to try to do some of the similar ones we did last year. Like I said, we'll work again with the Food Collective. We did tunnels for towers. We're going to try to do that one again. We'll try to do another jacket drive, but we'll probably pick a different veterans nonprofit. So if you're out there and you need somebody who collects jackets, reach out to us. But like, there's some similar, like I said, a new one for us next month. We're going to be doing these Valentine's Day cards for some of these mid-Ohio based nursing homes and retirement communities. But just stuff like that. Like, I'm excited about that. I think it's a good opportunity to learn from, people that you maybe never got in contact with before or would have met on your own.
You have a method that makes it really easy for businesses to get started in giving back.
No, I would just encourage companies out there. It really is a good way to learn, your community and assess your community's needs too. If you're, and the nonprofits, they're connected. They know what the community is about, right? Like they do. And if you get to learn them, get to meet them, they'll help you too as a business, right? Like if you sell widgets or you provide a service, they might tell you, like, yeah, there's not really that many companies around here that do that. That's crazy. I never heard about them. Or hey, I know some people that do that. You might want to meet these guys, right? Like, there's good ways to make connections, but there's also good ways to really make an impact on your community. And people want you to be in business in their area if they feel like you're helping the community, and that's what we strive to be. We strive to be a business that people want to do business with and that people want around. So I would just tell people, I really believe that. And it really is, it doesn't have to be like, start small. Just start small. They always say, how do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So if you want to get involved with nonprofits, just start small. We do one event a month. So it's a good thing and you can do it.
What a motivation for us to get involved in some way in our community this year, Rocky. Thank you for that encouragement today. For more information and to reach Rocky, go to www.thebridgetokindness.com, click on our partner page, and click on the EPS logo.